Hello everybody, I'm Meg Scinto. Welcome to another Tai Chi class. I decided to bring this one outside in nature because this is where I love to do my practice. You get so much inspiration. I do have to warn you there may be some chicken sounds from my neighbors, but mostly I hope that will be unobtrusive and also bugs will be away from me. So on that note, I just want to say to those who are new to this, and to remind those who haven't seen, a class in a while, that we move effortlessly and softly in Tai Chi Cha, so as to bring your vital life force, all the energy that's here around me right now, into your bodies and to bring it in easily. So that's the method of how we move. I do a lot of verbal cues. The movements are easy and should be able to follow fairly easy. You can always replay, so you have that opportunity. I'm going to get in place here so you can see from head to toe. And if you're welcome to stand and begin with me. First we'll say, let's just take a nice deep breath. Just check that your shoulders are relaxed. And once you have your feet turned out in a V with the heels close but not touching, knees are soft, and we're going to, at this point, now bring your hands up to the level of your waist or your navel in this area called the energy center in Tai Chi Cha. This is the beginning stance for all movements. It's how we begin a movement and end a movement. So whatever we're doing, however we're moving, we come back here and we call it closing the movement. So this will become very familiar to you. The hands, just want to mention, the palms are resting softly as if they're on invisible helium balloons, not being held up rigidly. It's a nice balance there of not floppy, not rigid, just great. So we're going to begin with a movement that's a warm-up movement called rocking motion. And to do that, step out with your left leg to the side so that you're now hip-width apart. Rocking motion being a warm-up movement, we do it fairly repetitively just to get the chi to flow. So I'm going to do it and talk you through it. I'm going to sink down first. When I sink down, my palms and my hands are going to come along and follow the weight shift. So I'm going to sink down and draw my pelvis back. So I'm going to sink down, knees, draw back, hands come along. The end of the weight shift, turn the wrists. Now you're sinking the knees and coming forward with your pelvis, and come up to about the soles of your feet, and here, the heart level with your hands. Then to go back the other way, we turn the palms softly. You sink down and draw back again. Now, if you don't want to come up to the soles of the feet, by all means, just come up with a straight leg. And here, I'll do that in this one. If you're more comfortable, we just come up straight leg, the hands around the heart level, soft turn to the wrists, and then sinking down, draw back, sinking down, and up. So whatever is your comfort level, you know best, so we do modify things in Tai Chi Cha. Primarily, just want to have soft knees and soft wrists, soft hands, fingers, because that's how the chi flows. So this movement, while you're learning it, just check into how you feel. How does it feel? Just as important to feel Tai Chi Cha as to do it. So, is there softness there? Do you feel any tingling in your fingers, perhaps? Just check in. So, rocking back and forth softly, find it a very peaceful movement. You see that my toes go up at the end of this weight shift. That's if you want to do that, go ahead. Otherwise, stay flat-footed. I mean, they're up for a second, and mostly you could just get a credit card under there. We'll do a few more. And when we close this movement, we close on the way forward. So let's do one more, forward, back, and now on this one, coming forward, bring your left leg in and come to the close where we started this pose. Very good. That was your rocking motion. So now we go into our first forward and back movement, which is called around the platter. And for the benefit of those who have not been with this program yet, I will show you how we step out. Step out and Tai Chi Cha. We do forward and back movements on the left side and the right side. And we begin always with our left leg, just a Tai Chi Cha thing. We start on the left side, we finish the movement, and we do the same thing on the right side. So from this stance that you know I put you in before, what you would do is you pick up, you do a little just slight bend of the knees, and you're going to step out. Sorry, there's a bug. You're going to step out with your left leg onto the heel and straight. So when you sink the knees just slightly, and as you're shifting the weight to your right leg, you step out with the left leg straight. So you have to have a straight knee, and you're on the heel. Okay, so now you have straight leg and the bent leg. All right, straight leg is in front. And what we do is we just glide forward, and we're transferring the weight from bent leg to straight leg. So your left leg is now bent and the rear leg is straight. And then we just glide back to how we started. So as if you were to tie at your waist and something was pulling you along at your waist, you just glide out. We're not using upper body, we're not going forward, we're just gliding from like the waist down. I'll just show you sideways. Sideways to step out, sinking, stepping out with the straight leg onto the heel, gliding out, changing. This is bent, the hip leg behind me is straight, and you're kind of up on the toe just in order for it to be straight, and then gliding backwards. But when you come to the end of the weight shift, just make sure you don't go down on your knee, because that's not good for the knees. And in the same way, the rear leg, when your heel is up, you're not pushing up artificially with your toe. It's just really, it's like you're gliding, and you're not changing what, your height. Okay, so that's just how you move forward and back. Doing the arm movements for around the platter, I'll separate that, and then we'll combine the whole movement. Around the platter, as the name sounds, you're going to just trace a circular platter with your hands. So we, from the rest pose, bring the hands up to the, say, heart level, fingers facing forward, and as you're going around with your left leg out, you would go around the platter from left to right. And you circle imaginary platter, keeping your fingers forward, right, through this movement. Just light tracing of a platter. And that's it. That's all there is to that. So let's get going with around the platter on your left side. So from your rest pose, slight sink of the knees and step out with the left leg, straight leg onto the heel, hands up to the heart level, and let's begin moving forward and then circling around with the arms, shifting your weight forward of moving your arms as if you're going through very thick and heavy air. And why? Because that just seems to soften the movements and slow down the hands from going too fast around. So the arms try to keep pace with, from the waist down with the weight shift. Typically we do the movements 9 times on the left or 9 times on the right. And when I'm teaching and I'm talking, I can't count too well, but I have good sense of estimating. In any event, we do it, go with the flow in Tai Chi. So there is flexibility and changes. So let's do one more of these. And come step back, come to rest in our pose, and just take a breath. And when we come to this posture that we're in right now, it's how we ground the chi, that we just went and did this work and you just circulated it, and it's coming into your body, and you want to ground the chi. Okay, so we get the benefits of it. So around the platter on your right side with your right leg out. So sinking and transferring your weight to your left leg, step out with the right leg straight onto the heel. Our hands up again, and we're going to begin the weight shift, circling right to left because your right leg is out. Circling round the platter. Shoulders down. Let go of effort. Let go of stress. And just be here. Feel the movement. Gliding out. And return. Let's do one more, or last one. Coming in, bring your heel back, back to our rest pose. Very good. The second movement is a variation of round the platter. It adds one little extra movement, one extra element. So I'll just always show you the arms isolated from the weight shift. So around the platter variation, if you're on the left side, we're going to begin on the left, right? Just showing you the arms right now. As you would begin the weight shift, you let the palms start to travel over to your shoulder and form a ball. So the fingertips are up, and you have an imaginary ball here. And as you're continuing the weight shift forward, you travel it out and hold on to this ball. And right at your absolutely dead center there, you release the ball. And now you have your arms, your hands back in the same position as around the platter. Continue as before. Weight shifting forward. Just make a nice, soft ball there. And release it at the center. So just by bring your fingertips up, soft, palms, fingers, holding a ball of energy. And now you let it go right at the center. And then we complete. Okay, so that's the one added extra element of around the platter variation. When the hands are like this, we're holding the ball, you may feel extra heat in there. It's really the energy. You may notice it. Just check in to see if you do. Notice it. And then you're holding that. It's the hands are so close in Tai Chi. We call it, this is polarity. A very close polarity. And then when you release it, of course, the palms feel very different because you don't have that energy there. So it's a fun movement. Lots to feel in around the platter variation. So from our rest pose, again, we're going to start with the left leg out. So getting ready here. Nice breath. Sink and step out with your left leg, hands at the heart level. Remember, straight leg. Begin the weight shift, and now let the hands travel toward the shoulder, forming a ball. And hold it, hold it, hold it. Come forward. Release the ball at the center. Come on back, as before. Weight shift again. Sorry, bug. Travels toward the shoulders. Form the ball, and then release. So your wrists play a large part in this. Turning your wrists to form the ball, holding it, then you just relax them. Relax your fingers, the ball lets go. Does that feel different to you? Having that polarity there? Tai Chi is very much of a mental awareness practice. What you call it, the other word for it is moving meditation. It's known as a moving meditation and joy through movement. Oh, one more, got to say. This will be the last one. And close. So yes, it's a moving meditation, and you get the benefits of meditation as well, and the benefits of moving your body and moving your chi. So that's just part of the of the benefits. I'll be throwing them in along as I teach. So on your right side, around the platter variation, slight sink of the knees, and stepping out with the right leg straight, hands at the heart level. Begin the weight shift, and then start to travel to the shoulders, form the ball, hold it, and let go. Forming the ball, holding on to it, releasing it right center, right in front of you. Soft fingers, soft wrists. And this is our last one. Bring your heel in and come to rest. Okay, so the next movement is forward and back movement. It's bass drum. And bass drum is very easy. So there's a vision, a lot of things in Tai Chi, so vision that you're in a marching band and you have this big bass drum on you, and all you need to do is from this rest pose, our wrist rather, we turn the hands toward each other, not any closer though, just where they are. Just turn the wrists so that the palms are facing each other, and envisioning that bass drum, you start dropping down, fingers, and out, and tracing all around this big bass drum. Visible drum, and we're just tracing it like as if with our wrists, and the fingers follow. And that's all there is to it. Down, and out, and up, and back. So let me put this in motion. I'm going to orient this way so you get a different view. I'm going to be using my left leg, primarily mirroring you, but because I'm not going to be facing you directly, I think this should work. So from the rest pose, sink and step out with your left leg straight, the heel, palms face toward each other, and as you begin the weight shift, you start dropping the fingertips down. Now, keep circling around. So round the imaginary drum. The wrists are doing all the work, turning around this drum. But let your fingers and your wrists be soft. And last one. And come in, just bring the palms down, they'll just float back to your rest. Okay? And on the right side, bass drum on the right. From rest pose, sinking and putting your right leg out straight to the heel, turning the palms toward each other, and then begin the weight shift. Again, oh, and one thing I should mention too, just check in that the palms stay as if there really were a drum there. They don't travel in any closer, so you don't get this to happen. Okay, they should stay kind of hip width apart, or almost hip width apart. If the drum was really there and they couldn't travel closer, right? So that's what you want to do. And then we'll do one more. And come back to rest. Very, very good. Okay, there's another set of forward and back movements, and we call them polar opposites of each other. First one is called Daughter on the Mountaintop, and the second one is Daughter in the Valley. So Daughter on the Mountaintop, again, I just show you the arms first. So Daughter on the Mountaintop, the palms are just go from the rest to just open them out. And as you're moving forward, which I'm not going to do right now, you just bring the arms up, let the arms travel toward each other, and the hands come toward each other. The right hand always goes outside of the left. And this is the end of the weight shift forward, and you've established that you've got a V here, wrists are crossing, and you have a V. And now on the backward weight shift, we're just bring your arms all the way down, and holding on to this V up to the waist point. So do that again. We're just bringing the arms up, and they're almost colliding, but you let the right hand go outside the left. You have a V there, and bring everything down, holding on. It's a little tension there in the wrists right now, then release. Okay, so we don't really have tension in Tai Chi Cha, but there's always an exception, isn't there, to something? So at some point, just feel it a little bit, but then you release it. Okay, so Daughter on the Mountaintop. Beginning on your left side. So sink and step out with your left leg straight, open up the palms, and then begin your weight shift forward. Now the arms travel up toward each other. There you go, got that V, and hold it, and then release, and again, holding. See how that feels. Feel like you're going to have all this energy colliding. The elbows are doing all the work in this movement. They're really just doing the rotating. And your fingers, your hands, and your forearms are just following what the elbows are doing. And then we'll do one more. And come and close. And I should say one other thing. When we close, breathing in Tai Chi Cha is normal. Just do normal breathing. But it's always good because you're learning to just take a nice breath from time to time. And when we close a movement, just the purpose of that is really to ground the chi that you've just circulated and brought into your body. So every once in a while we just want to pause and just really kind of feel your feet, feel them grounded, so that you become centered. Okay, it's just a way of, if you put your thought into your soles of your feet, it helps to ground the chi also. So just another little so one of the many tips of Tai Chi Cha. So daughter on the mountaintop on your right side. So sinking down and stepping out with the right leg, straight leg, palms open out. And as we begin to move forward, we go. The right arm will still, you're on the right side now, so same as before, the right arm will go outside of the left. You got your V, hold it, and now release. And then again. And you don't use the shoulders, we don't lift up. The hands cross, we're all different heights, but around the level of your throat. So we're not lifting our arms. Too far away from our bodies. All right, last one. And bring everything back. Okay, what I meant like that. Let me illustrate what you don't do. And that will work for the next movement. So what you don't do is engage our shoulders and our upper arms, okay? So we don't raise your shoulders up and have the arms way up here, all right? And we don't go way wide, okay? The arms, you're just basically letting your elbow rotate. That's all it's doing all the work, and that's all it's doing. So it's doing the work that way, but not this way, because now you're using your shoulder to get it out here. All right, so this is very little, these subtleties, very little things, but they're important to mention, because in Tai Chi Cha we do less, and it's not muscular, so it's actually easier, because you're just using, like you're just pivoting, you're rotating this elbow, and so it might be deceiving to the eye. So now the same thing in daughter on the valley. Instead of opening our palms this way as polar opposite, we begin with the hands going up. So we just lift our elbows, palms are facing out like this, and just showing the arms, they drop down, and they're traveling toward each other. The hands come very close together, but they don't touch as they continue to travel up. And now at the end of that weight shift, they just release and circle back around. And that's all there is to it. But you're taking two circles, or kind of Ds, side by side. So this arm, this elbow is just moving the arms, and this is all it's doing. Right? And the other arm is doing the same thing, and then doing it together. All right, so we're ready for that. Daughter on the valley on your left side. So sinking down, stepping out with the left leg, palms up, begin the weight shift, and then just allow the hands to drop down, palms close, not touching on this one, and then release. So the hands get as close as they can. That's the most polarity in this movement. That's the strongest polarity. And then we release all of that built up. Let it go. The circularity is a big part of Tai Chi Cha. It's one of the main principles. It's how the chi comes in. There has to be there has to be circularity in movements, and there's polarity in a lot of movements. And the weight shifting represents a yin and yang, that you're shifting from bent leg to straight leg and back again. Those are a lot of the principles. This is how the chi flows into the body. These goes back thousands of years, in the beginning of Tai Chi Chuan. Let's do this as our last one. And come on back. The hands just float down into your rest pose. Like I said, this is always where you end up. Can't go wrong. Daughter in the valley on your right side. Yeah, that's where we are. Okay. Sinking and stepping out with the right leg onto the heel. Palms up, and then release everything. There are 19 movements in Tai Chi Chuan in one pose. We'll probably get to half of them today. On another lesson I had done all the way to the end, I believe. Might have to use my bucks right for a second. Not sure. They're gonna stay away. Alright, let's do one more. And let everything come back. Your heel, your hands right here to rest center and grounding the chi. Excellent. So we are going to, the very next movement is side movement. And that takes a moment to teach this, because I don't know who has not been on this classes in the past. So the movements for the side as another element. We, again, we step out with the left leg to begin with, but you sink down and you turn your waist to the right. Okay, so just so you see it, I'll do this. So you sink down and then turn your waist to the right. Okay, then you're going to step out. Now that frees you, because most of your weight is on this side. It frees your left leg to step out. And once again, you're stepping out with the straight leg and onto the heel. That's enough. It's just always going to be, that's the principle too. So we just go back here, sinking, turning the waist to the right, stepping out with a straight left leg. Okay, now that you've gotten that done, we can bring all of this weight onto the side. Okay, and now I've exchanged which leg is straight and bent. And then you go back the other way. Just go back. Alright, to how we started. So my right leg is bent and the left leg is straight. And now, again, it's like you're just gliding over. We're gliding over, exchanging the weight. We're not going up and down. Not using the knees. We're not doing that. It's not good on the knees. It's also just not required. It's less. We do less. Okay? So just one more time. Sinking and turning your waist to the right, stepping out the left leg to the side. Bring all your weight over to that side. And now bring all the weight over to the other side. Just glide back. And now the movement, there's the one we're doing is carry the ball to the side. It requires picking up a ball like we just did before. So when you're when you sink and you turn your waist to the right, start to gather a ball at your shoulder. Step out with the left heel to the side. So you already had a ball right before in one of the movements. So now that you have the ball, similar to about 3-4 movements ago, when you move, you bring your weight all the way over to the other side. Just allow the ball to travel over at your waist level. When you get to the end of this weight shift, the ball is at this shoulder, okay? It's up the other shoulder. And now you're going to go back. So it's going to come back, travel across up top, and then down again as you go across. And then that's how we do carry the ball to the side. All right. So, bugs are getting the better of me. I'm just going to do one little spray here. I never did this to a glass, but I have to. Okay. Hope that helps for a second. Okay. Okay, so what we do for carry the ball to the side, we go across 3 times, and then we go back the other way. So, sinking and turning your waist to the right, pick up the ball, your right shoulder, step out your left leg to the side, and begin the weight carrying across. And then weight shift back again. And as you come to the end of this weight shift, bring your heel in and close for a second, and we go 2 more times that way. So sink and turn your waist to the right, pick up the ball, step out with your left heel to the side, bring your ball across, weight shifting across. And this is the third, so come in to close for a second, and then we sink through that. Just sink and turn your waist to the right, pick up the ball, left heel out, coming across, and carrying the ball, not letting the ball go. And on this weight shift, bring your heel in. Now we close. We're going to go back the other way. Okay? So sink and turn your waist to the left, pick up the ball, your shoulder, step out with your right leg to the side on the heel, and bring all your weight across. So carrying the ball. On this one, come in, bring your heel in. Again, sink and turn your waist to the left, pick up the ball, stepping out with the right leg, straight leg. The soles of the feet stay rooted to the floor in this movement. Okay, come in and close. One more time. Last one, sink and turn your waist to the left, pick up the ball. Right leg out to the side, bring your weight across, your ball across. And one last weight shift, heel in, back to here. That might have felt like a lot, but it is, you can review that. And I have had it on other classes that appeared further back toward the winter. The fact that the soles of the feet stay on the ground is a help to keep, because it helps to ground you in this movement. And basically, I think I'll just, I'm going to teach the next 2 movements so I don't run out of time. But it's a fun movement. It's a fun movement. So we go into another forward and back movement. It's called push-pull. Push-pull is when all the other forward and back starts, with your left leg. The palms are up again, similar to when we did before, a while ago. But as we weight shift forward, in this one, the palms just float out in front of us. And at the end of the weight shift, you just turn the wrists. Now the palms are facing you. And then they come back. That's all there is. They turn, getting ready for the next weight shift. So going forward, turning the wrists, coming the backward weight shift, and then rotating the wrists again for the next one. That's really all it is. From a look sideways, let me do it once. Let me do 1 or 2 sideways. With the look sideways, it's a little bit of an elliptical. If you can just start at your shoulders. It's not that you force them to drop down at all. It's just that because we're not rigid in Tai Chi Cha, everything is soft. It's more like it just has a little curve to it. I'm just pointing that out. It's not something you have to think, I have to dip, because we'll be down here. But it's just something, because we don't do things forcibly, so it's not this and then this. So because of the softness, there's just that little bit of a dip. Just a smidgen. Okay. So push pull, more to it than it looks. So sink and step out with your left leg, palms are up, and as you begin your weight shift coming from here. Begin your weight shift. Allow the palms to just float out. Soft turn of the wrists, coming back toward you. And then, as if you're pushing somebody on a swing, there you go. And return. When I was in training for Tai Chi Cha and I was not doing the hand postures quite correctly, I had one of the teachers that said to me, well, it's like the Queen Elizabeth wave. just think Queen Elizabeth wave. Anyway, I guess it worked for me. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to flatline our hands like that. Not good. Why? Because we want the chi flow. And we'll do one more. And like we always do, bring your heel in and let the hands, wherever they were, up and just float right down there to the rest pose. And yes, breathe. And ground. Do you feel like you're moving things around inside? Feeling anything different? You may feel tingling in your fingers in some of the movements. And if you don't, that's fine too. Maybe you'll notice tingling later on, because chi keeps moving, keeps being activated. So push-pull on your right side. Sinking and stepping out with the right straight leg onto the heel, palms are up. And as you begin, weight shifting forward. Goal is to just keep your fingertips up as much as, to the sky as you can. We'll do one more. And come to close. Nice, nice, nice breath. Okay. Sorry. The next movement is pulling in the energy. It's perfect to do outside, pulling in the energy. I call it an upside down platter, because the hands start like this. Palms are facing up, but in the same position as around the platter. So instead of where we went around the platter, the hands are going to stay around the circle as we go forward and weight shift back. But the palms are staying, but your palms are facing the sky, and again, you want the fingertips. You want the hands to stay close together, like not separate. Here's what not to do: separate, or the fingers to turn toward each other. Just as much as possible and comfortable to keep your hands close together and the fingertips facing forward throughout the rotation as best you can. So around the platter on your pulling in the energy on your left side as we sink and step out with the left heel, and the hands are, palms are facing up. Weight shift forward, going left to right. And this movement comes with a mental suggestion, and that is, think of energy streaming into your fingertips from the most distant star in the universe. And that was just put into this movement. So when I say it, my fingers immediately feel more energy. They feel so much more tingling going on as soon as I say that. So there must be something to it. Our thoughts have energy. So mental suggestion has energy reaction to it. Going around softly, and we'll do one more. Don't need to use my music out here, I've got natural music. And come to close. And around, I'm sorry, calling it around the platter, pulling in the energy on your right side. Sinking and stepping out with the right leg straight ahead of you there. Hands at the heart level, and you go right to left when your right leg is out. And again, to make everything even, because things need to be even, and symmetry, on this side, again, mental suggestion, think of energy streaming into your fingertips from the most distant star in the universe. Just see if there's a little change there or benefit. A lot of circularity in this. And let's do one more. And we come in to close. Close, okay. And take a breath. So I have some time left, and I'm going to, the very next movement is another sideways movement. It's called basic pulling taffy. So I'll show you basic pulling taffy. There's 3 other movements that are built on this one, so that's why it's called basic pulling taffy. Therefore, in another class this will get repeated, and it will also be built on. We'll get to the first taffy. It's a sideways movement, so we do very similar to what we just did in carry the ball to the side, but instead of a continuous flow across and then return, there's a we complete, we go to the right and then we go to the left and we stop, we do it different. We go back and forth and back and forth. So it's got its changes in it. So to go through the waist turn, let's do that again, just because, yeah, you're new. So the waist wind up, we call it the wind up. So you sink and turn your waist to the right, so you're going to step out with your left leg to the side onto the heel without using my arms yet. What we're going to do in basic pulling taffy is that we're going to come over to the side and then close the movement, and then we're going to go back the other way. So now you're going to sink and turn your waist to the left, step over with your right leg to the side, and you're going to bring all that weight shift across, but now you're going to close the movement, bring your heel in, okay? So it's just as if I like to tell classes that it's as if you did the first movement, say let's say around the platter, and you just did around the platter once, and you closed it, and you went and stepped out with your opposite hand, leg, and you did around the platter, and you closed it, you went the opposite leg, and you closed it. Well, we don't do that, but I just use that to illustrate that's what's going on here. You're sinking and turn your waist to the right, stepping out with your left leg, bringing all that weight shift across, and then you're coming to close, and then you're reversing it, sink and turn your waist to the left, stepping out with your right leg, and bring all your weight across and close. And you go back and forth 3 times. Now what do we do with the arms? When you sink and turn your waist to the right, bring the arm across. Actually, yeah, sink and turn your waist to the right, and sweep this arm across, ending palm up. I'm not going to say anything about the other hand yet. Okay. Now step out with the left heel to the side and bring your hand palm up all the way across, and then, like I said, we come in and close. Just let me do that again. And starting with the rest pose, you sink and turn your waist to the right, sweeping the hand across, ending palm up. This arm, not so much, not doing anything really with it, okay? Stepping out with your left leg to the side, bring the palm up hand all the way across, and let this opposite one just stay and ground down. Okay, ground down as this one is open and out. Okay, and now come to close. And then we go back the other way. Okay, sink and turn your waist to the left. All right, draw that arm across. Comes across your waist, but then it turns so that it gets to be ends palm up. Keep this one close to your body. Now you step out with your right leg to the side onto the heel and bring all your weight across. All right, and grounding with the one behind, and come to close. We'll do that 2 more times. Sink and turn your waist to the right, step out with the left leg to the side, bring this arm across, palm up, and let the other one stay behind, grounding. And close, sink and turn your waist to the left. Sweep your arm across, right leg out to the side. Bring all your weight across to the other side, ground with this hand. 1 more time, sink and turn your waist to the right. Left leg out, sweep across with your arm, grounding with the other one. And close, you can turn your waist to the left, right leg out, bring all your weight to the other side, and close. Okay, that was a real brief, basic pulling taffy, and I believe there'll be another class, and there'll be movements that are built on that. So that'll be revisited, and then there's movements that are built on basic taffy, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed those movements that we accomplished today. For the last few minutes, we always take a moment in Tai Chi to ground the chi. It's very important because what we're doing is we're circulating the chi into your body, and then we bring it in and it circulates, and it has an ability to help us, when we do that, feel better. We just don't want it to be up, and we want it to be grounded. I think it helps, it goes into the bones, and it circulates in our organs, and it's just really, really helpful. So we don't want to lose it. So we just like to be a little calm at the end. What I do is I usually ask my class to sit for a minute, and I do a reading. I do want to say that, it's very, I'm going to grab this little chair over here and do a reading. If you want to stay for this, it'll just be like 3 or 4 minutes, and the class is over. Wherever you are, it'd be good for you to just sit for a moment and just kind of integrate, to see if you feel different. Let it integrate to your body. I do. Like this is a poem I've had for many years, and it's from a Native American named Black Elk, and how brilliant and smart they were with the knowledge that they had just living in nature. This is all about I love this because circularity, as I was mentioning, is part of the major principles in Tai Chi, and this is based, it says, everything the power of the world does is done in a circle. The sky is round, and the earth is round like a ball, and so are the stars. The wind in its greatest power whirls. Birds make their nests in circles, for theirs is the same religion as ours. The sun comes forth and goes down again in a circle. The moon does the same, and both are round. Even the seasons form a great circle in their changing, and always come back where they were. The life of a man and woman is a circle from childhood to childhood, and so is everything where power moves. How did he know? He just knows. So that's why we move in a circle, because that's how we generate and bring in the chi. So I just love that. And I did want to tell you that it has been studied that awareness and therefore meditation strengthens neural connections. So you might like the idea that you're actually learning something new and you're strengthening your neural connections. How great is that? And then one last quote that I like, I collect quotes, is from a yogi in India, and this is simple. It says, retire to the center of your being, which is calmness. And with that thought, I'll leave you today, and perhaps you'll do your practice outside and be inspired that way. And I hope that you can feel grounded and a sense of peace and happiness with the practice. Thank you for joining. Take care.